My goodness, great lunch, great dinner, but have you had the breakfast yet? It's the best in town, and they have that convenient drive-through window. So when you're heading north or south on 540, take exit number 6 for Jim Mart number 10. 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith. Jim, the leading gas station and convenience store in the area.
You're listening to The Morning Rush, live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith. This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by Farm Credit. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com.
You know, our kids are out there playing the game. The people at the game are helping us win. I mean, that's just what it is. And our kids went out there and they played as hard as they could, as smart as they could. But without our crowd, I don't know what the outcome would have been. There's no place in America that had a better atmosphere than we did last Saturday, and I expect the same thing from this Saturday.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live on your favorite radio station, hitthatline.com and the Hit That Line Now app.
Don't say it's a fine morning or I'll shoot you.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson.
I'm a peacock! You gotta let me fly!
And Tommy Kraft.
They're gonna go nuts when he hits this thing.
Light the candle!
Produced by Christian Johnston.
How about this now?
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
Let's stand up and call those halls!
Louisiana Saturday night, waiting in the front yard, sitting on a log, a single-shot rifle and a one-eyed dog. Yonder come my kinfolk in the moonlight, Louisiana Saturday night.
Christian, I'm going to be honest. Tommy asked for this yesterday. I have no idea if this is the right version. Tommy's not in here yet. I think he's finishing up a meeting.
I couldn't figure out how to work it in yesterday.
I've heard this a little bit. I think this is right.
Yes.
As Tommy strolls into the studios this morning. Is this what you were requesting yesterday?
How long till the show starts? Are we on the air?
We're on the air.
We're on the air.
Louisiana Saturday night. There we go.
Oh yeah, Mel McDaniel.
I didn't know you didn't say the artist yesterday.
Heck
so I
yeah,
just
Mel
wanted to make
McDaniel.
sure that is correct. Not stupid on a Too Stupid Thursday. Have you seen that picture of me back as I believe 7-year-old or something? You can blame Matt for that. Matt. Of the sign I've held up that has gone pretty viral this week. My intelligence is probably the same as I was 7 years old as it is now. Loser, stupid university. Have you seen that picture?
I have.
Christian, have you seen that
I've seen
picture?
it.
Tommy, have you seen that picture?
You've showed me that picture.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is one of my favorite pictures of all time. I'm honestly surprised my dad allowed me to bring that in the stadium, but it still holds up to this day, all these years later. Me and my brother are smiling. We sat in the same seats in Little Rock all those years in War Memorial Stadium. This was a game that I loved every single year. And whether it was in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, it was I didn't experience Texas growing up for the most part, with the exception of 2000, 04, and 03. And as a kid, I should say. But this was my version of Texas. For my generation, it's always been LSU. It's always the biggest game in all the schedule. It's always the one you circled. I listen to Cam Ball. Now, Ball's a Georgia kid, but this is the biggest game for him.
Growing up, I know everybody in here is going to hate what I'm about to say. But growing up, I probably was one of the biggest LSU fans. You know, and you can say what you want, say what you want. They didn't really believe in me. They didn't want to take a chance on me. They didn't want to, try to give me a scholarship. So I just take this game personal more than any other one.
Now, again, he's a Louisiana kid, a Georgia kid. You do have some Louisiana kids on this roster, similar to Alabama kids that don't get offered from Auburn or Alabama, i.e. TJ Metcalf. Big game for them. But this is the game I look forward to every single year. And I know that's going to change a little bit with Texas and some of the other opponents that you'll play. But this was always the game that I, air quotes, got up for each season.
You'll play him this year, you'll play him next year, and then I don't know what the rotation will look like after that, but LSU, it's going to be weird not playing them on a annual basis. All right, that's where we start. Brought to you by Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental. They're at the entrance to Riley Farms. Every type of dental care and procedure that you can imagine for your kids, for yourself, for anyone in the family that you may need. Cosmetics, general dentistry, braces. They try to make it comfortable and convenient every time for you as you know, none of us look forward to going to the dentist, but they can help get you through all of that. Hey, mention you heard it right here on the Morning Rush, and your next appointment, and at your next appointment, receive a free bleaching kit or $100 off in-office accelerated whitening. Call Riley Farm Dental today, 479-226-3500. That's Valley Family Dental, by the way, 226-3500 for Valley Family Dental.
The world was falling last year, you know, when some of the kids hit the portal and all that. But I'm telling you, our linebackers are good now with Steven Dix and Sorey and Switzer and Shaw, and they can run. I love that linebacker room. Oh, I'm sorry, Brad Spence.
Tell us about Ball's Barbecue.
Coming out being on my own, I got tired of eating fast food every day, and I knew it wasn't good for my body, so I started to cook and went up from there.
There's a towering fly ball headed way back there, headed for the second down.
I'm playing football for LSU. I'm preparing for Arkansas. I'm preparing for the next game and the next game after that.
This is the opening drive presented by First Financial Mortgage in Fort Smith.
LSU, as Donnie texted in this morning. Maybe the most important thing that we've learned in the last 24 hours about this game is not only Taylon Green playing this Saturday night, but he's not listed anywhere on the SEC injury report. That came out last night, not just for Arkansas, but the LSU Tigers. And Arkansas only has 2 players on that list, which is, I believe, the least amount they've had all season. Jalen Braxton is out. Rodney Hill is doubtful. Based on some of the coach's comments earlier this week, Coach Pittman doesn't sound like he's going to play. LSU missing a good chunk of guys, most notably Harold Perkins. That's probably the name that you guys remember the most. He tore his ACL. He's out for the season. Also, starting running back, I think John Emery Jr. tore his ACL as well. But quite a stark difference, Tommy, between the Tigers and the Hogs heading into Saturday night in terms of just injury-wise.
Man, Perkins being out, are you sure they won't somehow get him an ACL transplant for this one game? Generally, that's how it works, that, you know, come off your deathbed to beat the Razorbacks.
I can't remember, and you've watched more football than me, being that you're nearly 20 years older. I can't remember a freshman having as much of an impact against the Razorbacks as that kid did on that cold. You took Dylan 2 years ago. It was frigid in Fayetteville. It's not going to be that cold. It's like 68 at kickoff on Saturday night. I can't remember a freshman having that much of an impact against Arkansas than he did on that day.
Yeah, and you're right. It was a cold, bitter day. They were sweeping snow out of the aisles to get people in the stadium that day, and he just dominated. And looked like a player that was ready to be drafted in the NFL, like following that season. So hate that he's injured. I mean, works out better for Arkansas, but hate that a player like that's not on the field for college football this year.
Rex texting in. He's listening at Hector this morning saying he thinks Taylon Green's playing. We're winning by 13. Yeah, I've said if he's healthy and he's not even listed on the report, I don't know to put him on the report at all. You and I were talking about before the show. Are you a little surprised? I think we're both a little surprised that he's not even listed as questionable or probable. He's not even on there.
Well, they're not playing games. Tells me that they're not playing games with the injury report. If you're not on there, as the guy said this morning, if you're not on there, that means you're not injured, So when it came out yesterday and there were only 2 players on there, we're like, this is good. This is where you need to be coming off a bye week.
Now, I think we have to note, a week and a half ago, or a little more than that, Tennessee came off their bye week and lost. Now, it was on the road, but it's not this magic elixir that solves all of your problems heading into Saturday night. You still have issues on the offensive line. I know it looked a lot better against Tennessee. You still have issues in terms of depth. I'm not trying to get anyone injured, but if a guy goes out or 2, again, only 2 guys, probably not going to play on Saturday night. But this idea, as we've gotten closer to this, the consistent thing that I've heard is, we're coming off a bye. We're going to win this game. Tennessee just came off a bye.
Okay, but you were listening more intently here in the studio, but didn't I hear Bo say this morning that Sam Pittman's 3-0 off buys, and then also 9-0 when you had more than a week to prepare, like opening games and bowl games?
I think when you include the Penn State and the Kansas wins and
the bye weeks, because you didn't have one first year.
The only one that Bart left out, if I remember him saying between yesterday and today, is one of the bye week losses in 2020, like you said. So he's
really damn strong off the bye or more than a week.
I think
prepared.
It's 5-1 or 6-1 at night, and then the 9-1 or 8-1, whatever it is. But so yes, that is, it's kind of like Muss. We always talk about how Muss, you give him a week out in the NCAA tournament, there's a good chance you're going to win that game. We saw it several times during his NCAA tournament run. Pittman has had that same success when he has been given ample time, more time than traditionally given, which is about a week in college football. So you like your chances on Saturday night. I do too. I think they're going to win by 2 touchdowns. I just don't think that, just because what
2 touchdowns, huh?
Christian, have I been very clear about that?
I'm not saying you didn't say it. I just think that's a little strong. But
so where, again, maybe I'm taking too much away from what they did against Tennessee. Maybe I'm taking too much out of the idea that this atmosphere is going to be better than what you saw a week and a half ago against Tennessee. I personally think it will. People feel a lot more strongly about LSU. Not that you like Tennessee, but there's an extra level when it comes to LSU. And it's not just me. It's not just my generation. It's pretty spread across, particularly in South and Central Arkansas, about how fans feel about the LSU. Now, the fans don't play the game. We know that. But I feel pretty strongly. And in talking with LSU media people, they're not confident in LSU's chances on Saturday night.
Do I have time to run to the bank during the break? I want to get how much action will you take? I would love to get LSU plus 13.5. If you'll give me that, I would just name me a number.
The thing that concerns me a little bit is the fact that we faced 3 freshman QBs, and we've looked really good this year when we faced them. But Nussmeier's kind of heating up a little bit, so our defense is going to have to play pretty much the same way they did against Tennessee, I think.
Yeah,
to get pressure, you're going to have to do all that.
They can pass the ball. LSU can't really run. What kind of odds we can discuss that during a break? What kind of odds I'd get for?
Well, you said they were going to win by 2 touchdowns. I'm only asking for 13.5. So I'll take LSU in 13.5 if you want some action on that.
I don't know if I'm.
Well, you said they're going to win by 2 at least. Was it at least? I think that was the.
I said 2 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns.
Okay, you didn't say at least. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll just take 13.5.
I don't know if I'm
LSU
that strong to bet on it. To bet on it.
Oh,
hey, I will bet on Ethan Adamson being a great mortgage lender as we change topics this morning. That is actually
I'll take
bet.
all the LSU plus 13.5 you want to lay.
That is actually a bet that I feel very strongly about because he's walked me through every step of the process. Apparently, and I'm still having to go through it. Apparently, even after you buy a house and even after you do the mortgage, there's still questions that I have that occasionally pop up. And him and their team at First Financial Mortgage, including Emily and everyone else, they've got 90 years in the mortgage experience at First Financial. And I'm not the only one that's had a great experience. Just go to their Google My Business right now. 4.9 out of 5 when you look up First Financial Mortgage in Fort Smith. You can check them out online, ffb1.com. Give Ethan and his team a call, 479-782-9300, or go online and get into ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
Yeah, I'm checking the Bet Saracen app. I can't get 13.5 in LSU there.
From time to time, I feel strongly about something, and
2.5.
it doesn't happen. And maybe I'm making, and if I am, call or text us at 877-377-6963 because both you and I had Tennessee covering a week and a half ago. Not only just winning, but covering in that football game. And Christian, you bring up something very important to this game come Saturday night. I've referenced that Arkansas beat Nussmeier back in 2021, which seems like a lifetime ago with Cam Little and those guys. But he's still in Baton Rouge. He's still there. And he's kind of like that Alan Bowman kid in Stillwater, Oklahoma, where while he's not just a Heisman Trophy candidate, I don't think, he's better than Bowman, by the way. I don't know what you do with him. Do you blitz him all? I mean, this is a kid that's seen a lot of college football, at least from a practice. Hadn't played 40 some odd games or anything, but he's seen a lot of college football. And so I'd be curious to see what Travis Williams not just does in the first half, but what adjustments he makes in the second half. Because they got out-schemed in the third quarter, and then you saw them doing more of the 3-down front. There's just a lot of variables that play into this game on Saturday night. What you do with, as you said, Christian, a veteran quarterback.
Yeah, and can you get to him? So we'll talk more about that coming up. But we talked about this yesterday. We were talking about superlatives and stats. Arkansas beating 2 top 8 teams back to back. I know there was the bye week, but that's particularly as an unranked team, that's not in your history. Now, I think it was 2010 you conquered that feat, but you were a ranked team, in a highly ranked team. Doing that as an unranked team, beating number 4 and then number 8, it's almost unheard of. Now, there's been some examples, but they're few and far between in college sports.
Do you know the key to winning on Saturday night?
Tell me.
Drinking all day.
Well, there you go.
Pittman, listen, he's funny, and he was great last night, but you're going to die at some of the stuff that Cam Ball said. Did you listen to any of last night? You heard it live, Big C? Did you listen to any?
No, I was tied up last night.
Well, here's one of the things that Cam Ball had to say yesterday when it comes to, where's this clip? All right, it's not on here. We'll find it at some point. Need to put that on there at some Big C.
Way to set up a tease.
He was hysterical last night. Well, apparently he has a barbecue business. We can talk about that.
I did hear about
Yes,
that.
sir. Ball's Barbecue. Yes, sir.
Tell us about Ball's Barbecue.
Oh, man, it was a business I did that really started from my father growing up. It went from him catering different barbecue events and me just being young, just tagging along with him, helping him load the grills on his truck. Him giving me $20 every time I did it, to me, trying to learn the ins and outs of grilling, trying to understand the process of meat and how to cook it and what temperature and things of that nature. And coming out here, being on my own, I got tired of eating fast food every day. And I knew it wasn't good for my body, so I started to cook and went up from there.
It is amazing. He dropped it off at my house one time, and I got into an instant food coma, knocked out in about like an hour after it. It's legit. It's legit.
That was his teammate, Fernando Carmona Jr., talking about that, but Cam
I'd like to try some of that.
I know. Well, let's get this in the stadium too. But he was pretty.
He's a little busy on Saturdays.
Yes, but I did find that with the.
Hopefully he's real busy this Saturday.
He was for those that don't. Cam is one of your defensive tackles. I think he's number 5. He has the Bane mask. For those that have watched Batman: The Dark Knight Returns, he's got the Bane mask. It looks awesome, and he's been pivotal. I mean, Sam Pittman said their defensive line. I mean, he's been really happy about that thus far. Here's what he said about them.
Our defensive line is playing better than ever since I've been here in 5 years, and a lot of that's because they're probably more talented. They're also well coached, and they've got really good leadership in that room.
You had departures. You had Tank Booker. He's at SMU. Torian Carter's in Colorado and Boulder. There's one other guy that I'm thinking of that ended up moving on from this team. Landon Jackson came back. That was probably the most pivotal piece. But you look at Tennessee, with the exception of the third quarter, they couldn't get any of their ground game going. Nico was under constant duress, and you're hoping that they can have that same impact against a much weaker running football team Saturday night, which is LSU, and Cam Ball's a big part of that. And not only that, but he's hysterical.
Yeah, and we'll get to that because Nussmeier's not a guy that's been sacked a lot. So we'll talk about that. Maybe that's our Morning Rush daily question. I've got that jotted down. Can Arkansas get to Garrett Nussmeier, and will Arkansas get a sack on Saturday? That's going to be one of the interesting things to see how many hurries, how much disruption that Arkansas's front line can cause. We're brought to you by the Hickey and Holt Law Partners. If you're going through a divorce, a family custody, or a custody issue, a family law issue, Brad and Kevin are there to take care of you, and their team has over 7 decades of combined experience. Family law is one of their specialties. But if you find yourself in a civil matter, in a criminal matter, or something you just need legal advice on, they're always there for you. And they have 4 locations in our state. They're in Fort Smith, they're in Northwest Arkansas, they're in Mena, and in Little Rock. So no matter where you're listening this morning in the great state of Arkansas, Kevin Hickey and Brad Hull are nearby with their team to help you. Give them a call, 479-434-2414, 434-2414, or go to kevinhickeylaw.com.
Did you see that Smith Robinson Stadium at Greenwood is up for a renovation? It's one of the 16 finalists. Have you seen that yet?
I saw that it was just the T-Mobile deal where they could get $2 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? Well, apparently Gronk got in on the action.
Shout out to Greenwood High School. Congratulations on being a top 16 finalist in T-Mobile's Friday night 5G lights. Over 1,700 schools entered across all 50 states, but your amazing school spirit has you moving on to the finalist round.
$2,000. Or sorry,
$2 million.
Jeez, $2 million. I looked at that and forgot to add 3 zeros. $2
I
million.
wonder what $2 million would get you in a football stadium. You ever been to their football stadium?
First time, not for a game, but I saw it.
Pretty nice.
First time I really ever going to Greenwood last weekend.
You really got to be there for a game experience. They have the LED lights like you see at Bama where they flash and do it. They can do that at Greenwood. There's only a handful of high schools that do that. Greenwood's one of them. They got scoreboards at each end. They got a turf field. I mean, there's things you could obviously do, but they've got a really nice setup already.
Speaking of lights, they're doing a drone show at halftime in Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium this Saturday. 300, listen, with a combined 300 drones, this stunning visual display of advanced technology will take flight at halftime above the south end of Razorback Stadium for the 70th all-time meeting between the Hogs and the Tigers.
A drone show. All right.
It's
Well,
homecoming this
I'm taking
weekend.
Dylan to the game. He may find that interesting. I didn't think you could fly drones over stadiums.
I think they have clearance, but I could be wrong.
Well, I've been told that it's like one of them
like a
directives.
safety thing, right?
It's a directive that if there's a drone flying over the field, at least during the game's supposed to be stopped. So, but this isn't during the game.
Yeah,
You know.
technically, it's at halftime, but that should be cool. And I hope that
I didn't think you could do it. I'm not a drone pilot, but I thought that was against the regulations.
My buddies just bought one for golf to shoot over courses and stuff and to film themselves playing. It's pretty cool. The quality's not as good, but that's the only drone that I've actually come into contact with.
I was in Rogers the other day, and one of them drones that takes off their Pinnacle that brings the stuff to your house and then drops it I saw one of them deploying.
Do you have an update on their recycling center, by the way? The one that was it caught on fire yesterday?
Oh, I don't know anything about that. No. But I would like to have the drone just bring my groceries to the house.
That'd be nice.
That'd be pretty cool
That'd be
as well.
swell.
That might be a job. I don't know that APAC Arcola has a drone pilot opening, but they got many other skilled positions that they're looking for people to join their team. Great pay, great benefits package, wonderful place to work where you can start or continue a career with upward mobility and promotions and advancement is a real possibility. Go to jobs.crh.com. A variety of positions open. They're really looking for licensed CDL drivers, heavy equipment operators, diesel mechanics, and more. That's jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola is an equal opportunity employer.
Hog update coming up next. More for Pittman.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here and hitthatline.com.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert. And this is Matt, and we're at the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Folks, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
No, it's not Christmas yet.
No, Mom, he's referring to football season.
Oh, speaking of football, guess what we just got in?
Season tickets?
Sideline passes?
Well, close. We just started receiving the Nike sideline apparel like hats and polos.
Yeah, but did we get jerseys?
Yeah, we got both kinds, cardinal and white.
We also have youth and adult sizes.
That's great. People have been asking for that for quite some time now. Matt, by the way, I did some research, and there's no shot for going viral.
Oh, Lord. Mom, he's a goner.
Anyway, besides Nike, we also have Champion, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, and many other brands.
All at the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, which is 989 South Razorback Road, next to Baumwalker Stadium. Matt, you tell them all about them interweb page brands.
He means the website, which is shoponrazorback.com.
Or give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
Tell everybody, woo pig suey.
This is the Morning Rush.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients better lives with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, now offering same-day crown service. Mention you heard this ad on ESPN Radio at your next appointment and receive a free bleaching kit or $100 off in-office accelerated whitening. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Hi, folks. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where we are rolling out Rath Auto Relief. Now through midnight on Halloween, get up to $1,500 Rath cash when you purchase any one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles. Use it to pay your sales tax, get extra for your trade, or just take it right off the price. Plus, follow us on Facebook for fun-free giveaways every week. Rath Auto Relief. One more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Stop by the Golf Nut today and check out the full line of lab putters featuring Lie-Angle balanced technology. Lab putters were used by 14% of professionals in the 2024 Masters Tournament. All models of the new Scotty Cameron Phantom putters are in stock, including the longer 38-inch model. Come discover the biggest selection of name brand clubs, apparel, and accessories in the region. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue, your #1 golf shop for over 30 years.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown Bar District.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pickup. Home. Drop off downtown Bar District.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
Witz Marine, your authorized Mercury dealer, is ready to take care of your winterization needs. With cold weather just around the corner, be sure to get your Mercruiser stern drives drained and flushed with antifreeze. For those with outboards, it's a great time to change the oil and service the lower unit. Plus, treat your fuel for a trouble-free next season. Don't get caught this winter. It's also a great time to repower the old boat with a new reliable Mercury engine. That's Witz Marine, your authorized repower center. 823 North 11th next to Wheeler Power Sports in Fort Smith.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South Z Road, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
Hey, Hawk fans, it's Ty with the Morning Rush. Join me this Saturday, October the 19th, from 1 to 3 o'clock at the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville for Arkansas Game Day. Robert, Elizabeth, and Matt at the Stadium Shop will have a buy one regular price clothing item, get a second equal or lesser value half off, including their Nike apparel and jerseys. It does not get more Razorback than the Stadium Shop. Arkansas Game Day live at the Stadium Shop on Razorback this Saturday from 1 till 3.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hogcats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pigs to it.
Yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
All right, back here in your Hog Update. Sam Pittman, we talked about the SEC injury report. They have had a lot of time to get healthy, and he's happy about that.
Well, I think it's big. And Posca and Taylor Green, we've had several. Rodney Hill, hopefully he'll have a chance to at least be available. All those guys. And, of course, we haven't played a whole lot of offensive linemen. And so the bumps and the bruises and the dings that they have, it certainly helps as well. And we were very cautious about still having the physicality, but getting these guys healthy. Luke has, Ty Washington. There was just a whole bunch of them that Hudson Clark that we needed to get healthy that weren't. It depends on what Taylor does, but we'll be just about full strength for
the second half of the season.
So he brings up a couple tight ends there at the end, Luke Haz and Ty Washington, who both appeared on the injury report prior to that Tennessee game. That was a concern, and they had Joe Moore, a backup offensive lineman, playing some tight end a little bit during that game for blocking purposes. But now they're all synced up. Now, there's one more bye before the Texas game, sandwiched right in between Ole Miss and Texas. You got Mississippi State next week and then Ole Miss. So, I mean, knock on wood, if you could have injury reports like this the rest of the way, you're going to have a competitive football team.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say, man. If you could go into the Texas game and have only 2 players on your list, that would be that'd be something special in November. But just got to play better. I mean, this offensive line had its best game when they played Tennessee, but can they continue that? You know, every game's different. The matchups are different, and the idea that it's going to be just like Tennessee when you play LSU, well, that's a little naive. So be different matchups, different challenges, but hopefully they have the confidence to, take a step forward. Is this as good as they can play, what we saw against Tennessee? That's the other thing I'm interested in seeing. And is there ever a point where the defense just has a stinker of a night? They played brilliant, basically every snap this year. Is there going to be a game where the defense finds that things aren't going so well that night?
Yeah, I mean, they had a stinker of a half against UAB, but outside of that, you're looking at the rest of the data and examples in front of you. Like, you got a pretty good defense under or Coach T-Will. And as Talon gets healthier and continues to learn the offense, and you wonder where the offense can get under, again, year one of Bobby Petrino. Andrew Armstrong has been fantastic. Jaquindon Jackson, you think about, you have one of the best 1-2 punches from a wide receiver and running back standpoint in the Southeastern Conference. I expected it from a wide receiver standpoint. Didn't necessarily expect Jaquindon to play as good as he has, and now we'll see how much Braylon Russell impacts the final 6 games of the season, as Arkansas has a good chunk of them at home down the stretch. Other news here in your Hog Update. Apparently, you've got a important basketball visitor, Chris Senack, who plays at Link Prep, same high school that Jordan Walsh played at. He's going to be in town this weekend.
He's Branson, by the way.
He's a top 5 recruit in the class of 2025. They just had Malik Thomas in town 2 weekends ago. He's a top 10 kid, so you've got a lot of guys in. You've got one commit thus far, Darius Acuff, who's the number 1 point guard in that class, and Cal's trying to add to it as best they can when it comes to that recently. So you're going to have him in town. We talked to Richard a little bit yesterday. I asked him about Carius Kern if he was going to be in town. Doesn't sound like he was at least Wednesday morning, but you're going to have a good amount of guys in town this weekend for this Arkansas LSU game.
And, another night game, the ability to travel in day of game, spend some time. Some schools, I know my kids got another week. Not this weekend, but the Mississippi State weekend. They're on fall break. So there, there'd be some that could stay longer as fall breaks are also happening. But the cool thing is for kids out of state, you can fly in that morning, be here, experience the game day, go back on Sunday, go back on Monday. When you have those 11 a.m. games, that really boogers things up.
All right, that is your Hog Update this morning. It's brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
It's a little disappointing. We haven't had this guy call in a while. Gary in Arkadelphia.
Who gives a damn about LSU?
Gary.
I wasn't confident it was going to play.
I tried it in here, tried it in there. Here, end of the story. Yeah. Gary, we need to hear from you this week.
Yeah.
I mean,
who gives a damn about LSU?
We need to hear from you this week.
Who gives a damn about LSU?
I can't just play that on a clip over and over and over again.
Twice.
Honestly, that pisses me off.
You hate it when I'm right.
No, I hate it when I'm wrong. Little backstory. We try to play this clip in here, another room, and we just need new equipment.
No, it's not.
We need new equipment.
You need to have more intelligence and knowledge about how the equipment works.
BS,
you got a monitor, you got a mono speaker, and anyway, I don't want to get into
but all the other clips will play off air.
I understand there's a phasing issue with it. Son, I've seen it all.
It didn't work in there. It didn't work in here.
I've been doing this a while.
Who gives a damn about LSU?
Gary, we need you.
I'm a deer in the headlights.
In the 19 plus years of doing this show, that's maybe my favorite caller drop ever of all time. Right there.
877-377-6963. Not just Gary. We would like any of you to respond what your thoughts
We'd all
are
love
on
to
this
hear from
LSU
Gary.
game this
Yeah.
morning.
Hey, brought to you by Farm Credit of Western Arkansas. 25 locations around our state. And, with rates dropping, now is a great time to get with Farm Credit and find out how they can help you with that special financing project, that special remodel you're wanting to do, or maybe the purchase of a new home. They can walk you through all the financing options. And, again, they have 25 branch locations across Arkansas. Go to myaglender.com for the details. That's myaglender.com. Farm Credit is an equal housing lender.
All right, we got our Morning Rush Daily question coming up. Plus, there's a new rule in college football that was basically changed because of what Dan Lanning did in Eugene this past weekend. 877-377-6963. The Morning Rush rolls on Too Stupid Thursday. I'm stupid. Next.
Streaming live from
HitThatLive.com.
Hey, this is Hunter Yurtek, Director of Athletics at the University of Arkansas, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Get the best deals of the year on select New Holland tractors and hay equipment right now at WT Equipment during New Holland's year-end value bonanza. Get the biggest savings with cash back plus 0% interest, $0 down, and 0 due until 2025. Don't miss your chance to harvest our best deals on New Holland's best equipment during value bonanza now at WT Equipment. Offer ends December 31st or while supplies last. For commercial use only. Subject to credit approval and CNH Industrial Capital America LLC approval. Standard terms, conditions, and restrictions apply.
Hey, this is Chad Warner, product manager for Booyah Bait Company in Fort Smith, Arkansas. The hottest swim jig on the Arkansas River right now is the Booyah Mobster. It was designed by the Muddy Water Mob, a bunch of river rats from Arkansas and Oklahoma, and it's winning tournaments on Dardanelle and Kerr like clockwork. If you're fishing submerged vegetation, water willow, lily pads, you need a Booyah Mobster to reel them in. Available at lurenet.com and tackle stores throughout Arkansas and Oklahoma. The Booyah Mobster.
I'm ready to roll right now, Ty. Have a great day.
This is the Morning Rush.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With the never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South C Road, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Loaded with fries, a drink, and 2 full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Choose any 2 plus fries and a drink, all only $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
With everyday low prices on top brands, locally owned Jaeger's Ace Hardware is committed to offering real service with real savings. Get these red-hot buys at any of our 4 locations. Huge mums in 10-inch pots, only $8.99. Get instant savings of up to $50 on select Ego, Craftsman, and Still outdoor power equipment. And check out our great deals on chainsaws and blowers for fall. Order online now and pick up in-store or curbside anytime. Find more everyday low prices online at JaegersHardware.com.
AAA Business Systems is your printer, copier, and production print solutions provider. What makes AAA unique? Ricoh, Sharp, and Brother Equipment. Fast, friendly service from our office technology experts. All-inclusive service contracts, managed IT services, and 4 locations statewide. AAA Business Systems. Find us online at AAABM.com. AAA Business Systems. Anything else is just a copy.
Hey, Hawk fans, it's Ty with the Morning Rush. Join me this Saturday, October the 19th, from 1 to 3 o'clock at the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville for Arkansas Game Day. Robert, Elizabeth, and Matt at the Stadium Shop will have a buy one regular price clothing item, get a second equal or lesser value half off, including their Nike apparel and jerseys. It does not get more Razorback than the Stadium Shop. Arkansas Game Day live at the Stadium Shop on Razorback this Saturday from 1 till 3.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at CartPathSocial.com. CartPath Social, the getting out of the sun, making golfing fun.
Garrett Nussmeier, quarterback at LSU, has only been sacked twice this year. Some of that's the offensive line. Sam Pittman spoke on that earlier this week in his Monday press conference. Some of that's on Nussmeier getting the ball out of his hand very quick, progressing through his reads. That's the experience. And Big C, you talked about earlier, you played some freshman quarterbacks that have really, you made some mistakes against your defense this year. Morning Rush Daily Question brought to you by CartPath Social. Will the Razorback defense record a sack on Garrett Nussmeier in Saturday night's game?
Oh, yeah. Stephen and Jonesboro.
They've given up 2 the whole year.
Stephen and Jonesboro saying that they're going to have 4 on Saturday night. He thinks Cam Ball.
And I run to the bank real quick.
Landon Jackson going to go off. I mean, I think if you said like 3, 4, I would probably say no, but they'll get 1.
There'll be opportunities, but he's really good at like navigating. He's good at making people miss. He's just mobile.
He evaded a lot of would-be sacks in the Ole Miss game, Christian. You're right. If you watch that game, Ole Miss was in that backfield a lot, but he makes plays in the pocket. He's just quick and agile enough as a quarterback to make those plays. He's not going to blow you away. He's not Daniels or even Joe Burrow in athleticism, but he could do just enough, I think.
So on that note, let me flip it a little bit. Taylor Green's going to play. Taylor Green's going to start. Is Taylor Green 100%? Because part of his game is exactly what you just said. He can evade the defender. He can roll out of the pocket. He can take off and run. Is any of that limited where he has to stay in the pocket, where he can't move? I mean, how close to 100% will he be?
I don't think he's 100%, but I don't think anyone at this season is 100%. I know Luke Haas, Ty Washington, and others aren't listed on the report, but I don't anticipate if you ask them straight up, like, do you feel 100% like you did before the season? No. I mean, we could ask, walk right next door and ask Matt. Matt would say, yeah, midseason, everyone's banged up.
But they're not holding the football in their hand, having to elude a defender and then scramble out of the pocket and get you a first down. I mean, that's a huge part of Arkansas's offense. And when things break down and coverage sacks are imminent, he can take off and do some things. Can he still do all of those things? I guess we're, we don't know the
Yeah.
answer, but
I
that's
think-
a reasonable thought going into Saturday is, hey, is all of his athletic skill available and on display Saturday night?
I think
he's got to have it.
I think that will be in the back of Petrino's mind more than it was in the first 5.5 games.
Because if he has to be a pocket passer and is not as mobile, Arkansas gets beat soundly, I believe, because that's too big of a part of what Arkansas's offense is with Taylor Green.
Just having the ability to do some things. All right, that is your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question, located in Lowell 122 Grant Place. You can check them out at cartpasssocial.com. Got a text from Christian yesterday. It's the #1 indoor golf facility in all of Arkansas. And whether it's the time change coming up, freeze warnings that are about to start here in Northwest Arkansas, I know it was under 30, or not under 30, it was around 30 this morning. You want to be able to golf still, right? If you like golf, you want to still be able to golf. And you can do so at Cart Pass Social. Tommy, this is for you. They just added the Blessings as a course. GS
that's
Pro.
nice.
So they have added the Blessings. So if you're not a member,
I won't lose as many balls.
yeah, I
over
was going to say
there.
99% of us, including myself, are not a member of the Blessings, don't necessarily get to play. You can play that course at Cart Pass Social. Plus their league play. Their first league starts next week, and they're going to set up private leagues as well. So if you and your buddies want to play in a private league between one another, then you could do so. CartPassSocial.com. Again, it's getting a little chilly, so come by Cart Pass Social if you still want to play golf. All right, I butchered this clip earlier from Cam Ball. It's the one clip that I wanted to play this morning, and somehow, some way, I didn't add it to the rundown. Cam last night, I stepped in mud, I guess.
I just like to constantly moisturize my meat.
What do you do? Like, if you're
He's a lot bigger
what
than
do you do
that.
if
Leave that alone.
you're Chuck in that situation? Now, the follow up was kind of funny.
Yeah, that's all right, man. Oh, that's all right. Come on,
He
bro.
needs-
It's yeah. All right.
Now the old people are understanding it.
Yeah.
Wow.
It took everyone
You
a
gotta
little
take
bit.
yourself out of that one, man. Barbecue meat. People, get your minds out the gutters. Come on now, but barbecue.
Oh, he's it's like what? All the old people like, well, what's that? What's wrong? here?
Took a little bit. Christian, you listened to that live. I listened to it this morning
driving, yeah.
at 5 a.m. and it was quite. And I don't have my coffee till right before the show, so I'm still kind of groggy and getting ready for what we have to do with Chuck and Bo and then this program. And I hear that and it just instantly woke me up. I just start dying laughing. That is the funniest clip I think I've ever heard. Okay, you want to play it again?
I just like to constantly moisturize my meat.
I mean, that may be everywhere. That may go everywhere, man.
I just like to constantly
teammate.
moisturize my meat.
Oh,
Hit social media.
it's going to be a brutal day for him in the locker room.
Cam,
I mean, brutal.
Cam's apparently a milk and cookies guy, but yeah, he. I don't. Do you think he intentionally meant to say that?
No.
And he was talking
that-
about that meat, and he got going, man. I was like, man, he's about to say something.
He really likes his Balls barbecue.
I typically cut on either some old school R&B or some gospel and just get into the groove of doing it.
Oh, that's even.
So it's an experience. It's not just the cooking. Oh no. You gotta actually love. You gotta take your time. Talk to the meat. Be one with the meat. There you go. Attaboy.
That was, I think, before this clip.
I just like to constantly moisturize my meat.
Now, is your barbecue? I should specify. Is your barbecue meat moist? Is it dry? Is it just
It's
right?
injected.
Okay. It's the most uncomfortable I've seen you in a while.
It's injected. I inject it.
Any word you
I
say,
inject.
you can make.
I inject my pork butts.
Now, Steven, he was the one that said that Cam Ball and Landon Jackson are combined for 4 sacks. He now definitely thinks he's going to go off on Saturday.
Read that Mike and Van Buren.
I just like to constantly moisturize my meat.
Look at Mike and Van Buren's.
What did Mike say, Christian?
Well, I wonder who he's talking about there.
I think he was talking about when I said that. Now, I can honestly say that was intentional because he kept saying the word pleasuring. So I just added that right in there. Thank you, Mike. Hopefully we'll play that clip. I'm sure that will be played over under 50 times on Ruskin and Zach today, but that was quite Annie says he moisturizes his meat with mustard, Tommy. Your response?
Yeah, I do the same thing. It helps. It's a good binder. It's a good binder to get your rub on there a little bit later. Your spices.
I just like to constantly moisturize my meat.
We're like a bunch of 12-year-olds.
I know. This is the funny thing about sports radio.
Did they play this morning? I didn't hear it.
No, they didn't.
Imagine that.
You know what?
Come on.
As of now, I'm going to stop sending them because there's clips that I want to play that I know they'll play. I know they were going to I knew they were going to play the drinking clip because it's too good when Pittman said this.
We're drinking all day.
But I didn't. The reason we didn't play it earlier is because I forgot to send it. I had it clipped, but I forgot to send it in the mass email that we send all our shows, and I'm kind of glad because it has christened our audience for the first time. I'm going to save the good stuff. Screw Chuck and Bo. I'm going to save all the good stuff and keep it for us like this.
I just like to constantly moisturize my meat.
Audio courtesy of Learfield Sports.
Yeah. Sure. Okay, back to what we were talking about earlier.
Sam Pittman Live, hosted by Chuck Barrett.
And sports radio is a funny medium, right? And a lot of us have grown in it some way, some form. I grew up listening to it, a particular show this is all they do. This is all they talk about. And it still works 20 some odd years later, 15 years later, whatever it's been. And I realize in the midst of actually doing it that we're all just 15-year-olds still. Like when you hear this,
I just like to constantly moisturize my meat.
that takes you back to a locker room joke. That takes you back to anything that you may have thought was funny in high school, any time like that. And I realize that in our heart of hearts, we are still 15 years old. And that is still funny.
You can't laugh and then laugh at yourself, then you're really missing out on the good jokes. But he's going to catch hell in the locker room today. Oh my! Can you imagine the text he received once that kind of spread throughout the team?
I bet Ball's Barbecue is getting called ample times. I don't. He should have put the number out last night on Sam Pittman Live. That is Cam Ball, your defensive tackle, had a big game against Tennessee.
I just like to constantly moisturize my meat.
And he likes to moisturize his meat. I think that's one of them we need to keep on there.
Well, hey, tomorrow morning we're going to be live at Shelter Insurance. JT Finley going to have us out there. You're going to be staying tonight at the Inn at the Mill, so always a great place to stay in Northwest Arkansas. If you're looking to book a room in Northwest Arkansas, you can do that at the Inn at the Mill, 479-443-1800. I actually need to call and book your room during the break. 479-443-1800. She won't take your call any longer. 443-1800. You're on the ban list. I'm going to have to ask for a favor to get you in there tonight. Conveniently located just off the Johnson exit. That's the best thing about the Inn at the Mill. Well, there's lots of good things, but that to me is the best thing. The convenient location right off the interstate, close to everything in Northwest Arkansas you want to do. Big, oversized, spacious rooms. And Jennifer, you mentioned her, such a kind individual, such a great person when you call there, which I'm going to do in the next break. She makes it simple and easy. 479-443-1800 or online at inatthemill.com. That's what? 7 minutes from JT's office, maybe.
Really
We'll
close.
be there in the morning, and Morning Rush, 9 to 11 at JT Finley's office with Shelter Insurance.
Yep, right on the heart of College Avenue. Excited to catch up with a big-time Arkansas fan. Talk Arkansas, LSU, and we'll talk a little Arkansas football the rest of the ways. You've got this. And I wonder, all right, so let's look ahead just for a sec. Arkansas, you beat LSU. Let's say that it ends up happening. You take the Golden Boot trophy back to where it belongs in the Broyles Center, and then you have Mississippi State. You get Ole Miss at home. You got to buy in Texas and that. I'm just going to tell you, I'm looking ahead. If they win this game, they're going to play terrible next week against Mississippi State.
I'm kind of worried, too, about Mississippi State. They're going
let's just win this game.
We'll win this game.
We'll talk about all that later.
Yeah. Well, I do think
let's just win this game. Mississippi State, I know their team hasn't performed well this year. That's a hard place to play, but I don't care. Let's just focus on can you stay in this game? That's the key.
Significance of LSU. Sam Pittman touched on that. We'll get into some of his captains coming up, and I guess we can,
I just like to constantly moisturize my meat.
Talk more about that.
Now, I know what Ty will be doing during the break. Hey, if you're looking for a place to watch the game and you're in the Fort Smith area, if you're not going up, Joe's Grill and Cantina. Write that down. Joe's Grill and Cantina. Half price appetizers, half price beers on tap during the game beginning at 6 o'clock on Saturday night. Get in, get you a great seat at the bar. They got new TVs up, great looks from any seat in the house, but they'll have half price appetizers and half price drinks for all the beers on tap. Half price apps and taps on Saturday night. Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street. Let's see, it's Throwback Thursdays. They got the Throwback Platter, Fajita Friday tomorrow, and all-you-can-eat enchiladas on Saturdays for $15. Plus, half-price apps and taps. Joe's Grill and Cantina, South 74th Street in Fort Smith.
Hog fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert.
And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Folks, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
No, it's not Christmas yet.
No, Mom, he's referring to football season.
Oh, speaking of football, guess what we just got in?
Season tickets?
Sideline passes?
Well, close. We just started receiving the Nike sideline apparel like hats and polos.
Yeah, but did we get jerseys?
Yeah, we got both kinds, cardinal and white.
We also have youth and adult sizes.
That's great. People have been asking for that for quite some time now. Matt, by the way, I did some research, and there's no shot for going viral.
Oh, Lord. Mom, he's a goner.
Anyway, besides Nike, we also have Champion, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, and many other brands.
All at the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, which is 989 South Razorback Road, next to Baumwalker Stadium. Matt, you tell them all about them interweb pages for him.
He means the website, which is shoponrazorback.com.
Or give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs!
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hi, folks. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Nike. Rath Road Ready vehicles. Use it to pay your sales tax. Get extra for your trade or just take it right off the price. Plus, follow us on Facebook for fun-free giveaways every week. Rath Auto Relief. One more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, Sakale, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your #1 source for everything sports betting. Every stat, every matchup, breakdown, and even live odds and spreads to bet on during the games. With the largest catalog of odds on everything from football, MLB playoffs, NHL, and NBA to political props. When the game is over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack, poke. Head to the website today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in DeQueen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, full deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft.
09 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. KERX, Paris, Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your mornings.
ESPN 95.3. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light, please drink responsibly.
You know, our kids are out there playing the game. The people at the game are helping us win. I mean, that's just what it is. And our kids went out there and they played as hard as they could, as smart as they could. But without our crowd, I don't know what the outcome would have been. There's no place in America that had a better atmosphere than we did last Saturday, and I expect the same thing from this Saturday.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live on your favorite radio station, hitthatline.com and the Hit That Line Now app.
Don't say it's a fine morning or I'll shoot you.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson
I'm a peacock! You gotta let me fly!
and Tommy Kraft.
They're gonna go nuts when he hits this thing.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
How about them Cowboys?
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
Let's stand up and call those Hawks! Louisiana Saturday night. Waiting in the front yard.
What's this guy's name again?
Mel McDaniel.
Mel McDaniel, Louisiana Saturday Night.
He's got a couple good ones. Maybe he's got her blue jeans on. This is my favorite one.
I think I've heard that one. I've heard this, but I
Stand up, testify, stand up. But this is the one that's apropos and relevant for this week.
For this weekend. LSU.
I can't imagine they don't play this a bunch down there already.
LSU, Arkansas, 6 o'clock, ESPN right here on ESPN Arkansas. Well, pregame coverage beginning at 1 at the Stadium Shop on a Razorback. Cannot wait for that. Is it stupid that I think the atmosphere is going to be better on Saturday night than it was against Tennessee?
No, that's not dumb.
I've never heard anyone say that LSU is their least favorite opponent. I've heard that plenty of times about LSU. And now that you know this team can win a one-score game, I think that, last week didn't just give or 2 weeks ago didn't just give the team confidence. It gave fans the confidence to say, you know what? This weekend is worth the investment.
I just don't know if they can replicate exactly what Tennessee was, but that would be quite impressive if they're able to do that 2 games in a row.
Mm-hmm.
That really would.
Should they be a top 15 team if they do?
No.
I'm not saying I don't think they can win. They can win. I'm saying the fans.
Be in the top 25.
If the fans bring it like they did against Tennessee, man, that's impressive.
All right, that will be one of the 4 or 5 games we pick tomorrow on the Fence Man Friday picks. We'll do that just after 9 o'clock tomorrow morning with the Fence Man. So be sure and tune in. Anything you need involving fencing, gates, or other products, powered automatic gates, custom wrought iron installations, or more, the Fence Man can do that for you. 782-3936. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work. Hey, if you haven't been by Uncorked in the afternoons, be sure and get by there for some patio weather. I mean, it is, 4:30, 5 o'clock. It is just gorgeous. Sun doesn't set right now to just after 7, so it's great few hours that you can get out, have a cold one to end the day, or maybe your favorite pour of something. have the missus join you. They've got a tremendous selection of wines as well. And they've even got the machines where you buy the card. Maggie or one of the ladies will fix you up with they're I'm not going to get it exactly right. Endomatic machines, and they've got several select and exclusive types of wines that, hey, I don't really want to buy that whole glass because I'm not sure if I like it. It's a little on the pricier side. Hey, it gives you options by the ounce, and you can try a variety of things and really figure out what you like and what you feel is a good value for you. And it's just a great way to go if you love great tasting wines. They've got a good selection of those. It's all at Uncorked. Also, check out the new fall menu, which is out. They got their brunch coming up. Lots of things. Find them on Facebook or go to uncorkthefort.com. Make your weekend reservations as well. One of my favorite places, and if you haven't been there, it will become one of yours as well. That's Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sody's in Fort Smith.
This hour of the Morning Rush is presented by Mach 1 Financial. Mach 1 Financial Group, LLC is a registered investment advisor located in Rogers, Arkansas. For full disclosures, visit mach-1financial.com/disclosures.
Tom Murphy now joins us in hour number 2 of the Morning Rush here on a 2 Stupid Thursday. Tom, not much of an injury report for Arkansas, which I know fans are happy about. Coach Pittman's happy about. Jalen Braxton's out. Rodney Hill's doubtful, but no one else listed. Are you surprised by that?
Yeah, good morning, guys. I was a little surprised that Talon wasn't even listed as probable or, I don't know, there's not a likely designation. But, I had been told by some folks that they felt good about it and all, but you never know if that's things that they're being told. And, like there's this concept being done. And but no, Sam was pretty upfront about everything on Monday as well. We like his progress, how he's trending and all that. And here it comes that he's not even listed. So that's great news. But I guarantee you LSU's game plan would have been to try to move Talon around anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But knowing that his knee took that shot, and y'all saw that shot, Arkansas dodged a huge bullet by how hard his left knee was hit and how it looked like it hyperextended. So they're going to try to get Talon moved around off his spot, much like Arkansas will do for Garrett Nussmeier. And we'll see how mobile Talon is on Saturday night.
I wonder your thoughts on LSU's defense and Blake Baker. You're talking about what Arkansas will try and do against this LSU team. This is not by any means a Glenn Dorsey or Marcus Spears or Tyrann Mathieu LSU defense. In fact, they struggled really the last year and a half. I know they had a better showing in the second half against Ole Miss, but Tom, what are your thoughts on an LSU defense that's not really typical of what you see in Baton Rouge?
Well, they still have playmakers, y'all. Now, the defensive end who's having such a great year, I'm not sitting with my notes right now, but I think his name, he was a transfer from Oregon. Anyway, he's having a good year, and I think they're finding their way. Listening to some folks who cover LSU talking, it was like something has clicked now. They got a lot of pressure on Dart with 6 sacks. Their linebacker core is good. Look, just Whit Weeks, I remember him from last year when he was a freshman.
He's a dog.
He's a guy who plays. Yeah, it's like he plays with his hair on fire. He's got a lot of tackles. They send him a lot, and he's going to be something to watch out for. He's number 40, but Greg Penn and their linebacker core is much improved, and I think that they're playing with a lot of confidence now. Because they're a lot better than they were last year.
You mentioned linebackers. Sam Pittman was very complimentary of his linebackers last night on Sam Pittman Live and during the SEC teleconference. That is a position group you lost a lot, and yet you seem to be pretty sound. Tom, we're 6 games in. What have you thought about their play?
Yeah, I actually wrote about that today in my midseason analysis. That so Travis Williams, we as a beat corps did not talk to Travis last week, but the Hogs Plus cameras got him for their exclusives, and he talked about when Bo Mattingly asked him about losing as many guys as you did. There was this this conception around the Arkansas linebacker core that it might not be deep enough or whatever. And Travis Williams' response I thought was pretty neat. He's like, hey, I heard all that, but look, I'm a linebacker coach. That was like one of my least worries. And so it's played out that way, honestly. Xavier Story's been very good. Stephen Dix has moved his way up into the depth chart. He's playing well. Anthony Switzer, they've gotten good use out of him, a former defensive back basically, and then Brad Spence. Those have been the main four. And last week there was a lot more 3-2-6 look, so you only saw Sorey and one other guy usually, but they've actually played pretty well. I mean, you can think of a handful of plays where they didn't stop the run or misfit a gap or something in the Tennessee game and the A&M game, but otherwise they've been pretty solid.
You did give out some midseason grades and kind of went through that report card, like you said. Offensively, there's still room for improvement. They played well against Tennessee, but I think just kind of reading over your analysis, you looked at the offensive line. I think you gave them a high C, if I remember right. Quarterback play was in the B's. I mean, they're 4-2, and they're still not playing to what we would think is an A level.
That's correct. And I mean, we've harped on this a lot, but that Oklahoma State game, that was theirs. They just don't, drop the pitch and muff the punt and those things. And yes, as I wrote that, the thing that occurred to me was that Bobby Petrino really saddled up Taylon Green and the offensive unit with a lot of his game plan. And you could see in some cases, they had a few miscommunications, and Taylon's got a lot of reads on his plate. And he hasn't always found those reads. The biggest one that I wrote about today, the glaring one was Tesla coming wide open. And if he sees that, it's a touchdown. But he's getting better, and as folks like DJ Williams said, veterans in the Bobby Petrino system, the more and more they play it, the better they're going to be at it. So for them to be as in week 2 against Oklahoma State as proficient as they were already, you just know that there's a lot more out there. And I think the blocking, the pass protection last week, if they could get a similar effort against LSU Saturday, they're going to give themselves a chance to win that game.
Yeah, and to come off a bye week, approaching late October, we're not quite to late October, but halfway through the year, and only have 2 on your injury report, which I know is new, but I don't think even if you had those in the previous, say, 5 seasons, you'd have been anywhere close to that at this point in the year, even off a bye week.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you, after 5 years of this, Sam Pittman now, remember there was a few years in there where, they'd hold Rocket Sanders out of scrimmages, and they didn't tackle to the ground as much. And I'm thinking about the spring of maybe 22, the spring of 23, and in camp, they just weren't quite as physical. And I think Sam Pittman identified that as one of the ways that if they're going to be a better program, they had to devote the time to being tough. And we saw that in the spring. He talked about it in camp, and they've been very, very tough. And, yeah, guys have been dinged up. I think Jaquindon Jackson's been playing banged up a lot of the year. We know Armstrong had a hamstring early on and that kind of stuff. But it is amazing that here they are at this point. I'm not sure. I don't think they've had a guy lost for the season, which is really amazing halfway through. And various dings, but they've done pretty well on that front.
Knocking on wood as you say that. Tom Murphy, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette, with us every Thursday at 10 o'clock. Tom, you mentioned Jaquindon and Andrew Armstrong, which is one of the best 1-2 punches in the Southeastern Conference. What do you think's different about Armstrong this year?
Well, just all those games under his belt and the confidence. And look, when you have his physical traits, he's fast. I mean, he's not blazing speed, but he's fast enough. I think he's really good on 50-50 balls.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why you've seen Taylon just throw some up there. And that catch he made on the play Green was hurt on. That catch he made, the defender was right on him.
Mm-hmm.
And he had to make a basket-style catch over his shoulder while being aware of where his foot tapped down. As I saw it play out in live action, I thought there's no way he caught that. But not only did he catch it, he stayed in bounds. And that was one of the biggest plays of the game. And just a good attitude, a good team player. There's a lot of positives for Andrew Armstrong, and I think he'll get a shot on the next level.
It's still amazing that he doesn't have a touchdown this year. He's got over 500 yards, Tom, and yet he hasn't pranced around the end zone just yet, which doesn't make any sense to me. It kind of reminds me of Traylon as a freshman. As much of the targets he got, he didn't get in there.
You look at the big picture, and 5 touchdowns and 5 interceptions for Taylon Green. That's not exciting, or that doesn't light your fire. But yet you look at his play, and he's done well. I do think that I do think that narrowing down their targets or finding ways to get guys, rub routes or what have you, in the red zone is maybe next level for this offense.
Tom, last thing. I don't know if you've heard this or you're about to hear it real time, but any thoughts on what Cam Ball said last night?
I just like to constantly moisturize my meat.
I know you have a lot of good things to say about Cam Ball, but I don't know if you heard that last night on Sam Pittman Live, but we've had some fun with it this morning.
Yeah, I listened to it, and, of course, the crowd reacted, and he told people to get their minds out of the gutter. You know Cam's one of my guys. He's an Atlanta guy like me. He's got a great personality. He's got his own barbecue thing, and obviously that was all about smoking, grilling meats and things like that. So he's going to be. You heard him say last night when it's all said and done, he would consider moving back up here because he's made so many friends, and I just think he's a great kid to be kind of representative of your program. He's so boisterous. He's a good kid.
And LSU's personal for him. Even as a Georgia kid, like you mentioned, he sounded like he was an LSU fan, which I've found kind of interesting. You've got Landon Jackson who's a transfer. There's not as many LSU connections as there were last year with Nudie and some other guys, but that always plays an impact in this game, and we'll see if it has an impact on Saturday night. Tom, we appreciate the time as always. Good stuff, and we'll chat on Tuesday following this game Saturday night.
Outstanding. Y'all have a great weekend. See you.
Tom Murphy with the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette and Whole Hog Sports. Cam is a funny guy.
Yeah, but I bet he's going to catch some grief in the locker room for the next little while. Hey, we're brought to you by Oaklawn Sports. If you haven't downloaded the Oaklawn Sports app to your mobile device, you need to do that now. It's available in the Apple Store or Google Play Store. You can sign up today and earn up to $1,000 in bonus bets. Once you deposit, you're automatically enrolled, and here's how it works. You receive a second chance on your first bet each of the first 10 days for up to $100. So you got nothing to lose the first 10 days on the first $100 bet. Check out all the details on the Oaklawn Sports app, and you can do that now. Debit and credit cards can fund your account, and they can put money back into your account that way. PayPal, Apple Pay, Venmo, ACH, and on-site cash all make it simpler and easier than ever to withdraw your balance right now with Oaklawn Sports. So if you're looking for fun with Major League Baseball's postseason, college football, the NFL, the upcoming NBA season, it's all there with Oaklawn Sports. Bet with the brand you trust anywhere in Arkansas. Bet with Oaklawn Sports.
Got a question from Trey here, and Tommy, I think you could probably answer this more adequately than I can. He said, how many more fans can the stadium hold than was at the Tennessee game? So the Tennessee game
Tennessee game was the second largest crowd of the year. The UAB game had just over 76,000. It was, I don't have the box score, 75,000 and change for Tennessee. There's 76,000 seats in the stadium. You could go up to 80 plus with standing room only.
Largest crowd in history is still that Alabama game back in 2010. Number one team in the country, over 76,800 fans. I mean, there's going to be another record, I would think, on Saturday night.
And keep in mind, the north end zone wasn't there for that Alabama game. So, LSU's got part of this. Also has to be the visiting team bringing a lot of folks. LSU, there's more LSU fans in our state than Tennessee fans, I believe, just because of the proximity to the western side of the state, and because so many from Katrina, relocated here years ago and have become Arkansans. But I think LSU will bring a big crowd. They're excited about their team. They're in the top 10. That's part of the equation as well. I think the students will be on hand. They'll fill up their area next to the band and part of the upper deck.
Is it fall break for college too? You mentioned Dylan having fall break.
His is a week from this weekend.
Okay, so it's not this weekend. It's next weekend.
Next weekend.
Okay.
So
I missed on that.
So is this the game you can break the record? You're not far off. So I mean, there's going to be a day I think you get 80,000 people, 80,000 tickets sold in that stadium. So I was surprised it wasn't against Tennessee, honestly.
Yeah, me too. By the way,
maybe not 80, but at least break the record.
Since it is fall, and I know I get fleeced for a variety of things I do, just in my everyday life. Yeah. Ripped, dogged.
Yeah, fleeced in the
kicked in the you know what. Mm-hmm. There is pumpkin spice creamer in our fridge now.
I just shook my head.
And it's you know what's stupid? And I'll say this as a man, because I'm completely okay with my masculinity, that is just labeled as a feminine thing.
Yeah, but you went
pumpkin
put whipped
spice.
cream on top of it.
I put the Well,
you put the spice in there, and then you put
and then on top
Cool Whip
double
or whatever
cup of-
on. God
and it was in
almighty.
there. I checked with Cindy, our coworker. I said, "Can I have some of this?" She said, "Absolutely." And I doubled up, and it's fantastic. And I don't care if anyone thinks it's not. It's fantastic. It is stupid that food items and drink items get labeled as feminine when they taste good.
No, we're not labeling the food item. We're labeling you. Well, hang on. You say the same thing, which, by the way, a bunch of my male group drink vodka and cranberry.
That is the old. I have to retort somehow.
Well,
I have to send it to you somehow. Which, by the way, that is more of a feminine drink than anything. And
no, it's probably the most popular drink sold at the golf course. They sell more of those than probably anything else.
Your friends need to drink Greyhound.
Well,
vodka grapefruit.
It's the same. It's vodka and juice.
But a vodka cranberry does not sound manly compared to a Greyhound.
Does it sound manly? Okay, call it a Cape Cod then. Give me a Cape Cod.
Cape Cod.
Yeah.
Is that what a vodka cranberry
Yes.
is? Okay. Well, that's better. Don't call it a vodka cranberry. Call it a Cape Cod. It sounds more
Call it
manly.
what it is. Vodka and grapefruit juice. You call it a Greyhound because it sounds like crap if you say it the other way.
By the way,
but pumpkin spice, I can't find anything with
it tastes good.
Testosterone in it.
Bill in Northeast Arkansas. Let's move on. What's the temperature going to be at kickoff? Last time I checked, Bill, it was 68 degrees. Double check on that. Are you an Apple weather guy? What do you look at? When you do
Whatever's
that?
on the phone. Yeah, the phone app. I guess that is Apple
At
weather.
kickoff, and it's not gonna be 6 o'clock. It's gonna be like 6:06 or something. But 68 degrees.
Close enough for government work.
Yes, 68 degrees.
Yeah, Saturday's high is 75. It'll be 60 by that time of day. I would think it'd still be. Yeah, no, you're
All
right.
I know is Christian almost wear that ESPN Arkansas sweatshirt this morning. I'm wearing that nice new fleece you got us.
Yeah.
It's going to be
68 degrees
comfortable.
to kickoff. That's what I show. Yeah, so just like you.
Gary in Huntsville says Thai pumpkin spice. Vodka.
So here's the thing: do you wear shorts if you're tailgating all day, or is it a pants all day?
Nah,
deal?
Daddy's in his jeans and boots. It's a game day. Come on now.
Your dad's going to the game?
No, I'm going to be in my jeans and boots. It's a game day.
Dude.
It's in Fayetteville. That's what looks good. That's what women are attracted to. Jeans, boots, polo, pullover, or a quarter zip in Chuck's case. He's not going to wear jeans and boots, but I'm just telling you that's the.
Where are these women? Because I never see them with you.
I
mean, I don't disagree with your wardrobe selection, but I never see these
Listen.
women with you.
A lot of my girlfriends, like not dating, obviously, plutonic friends are around, but not necessarily that what you're.
I
what
don't
you're
see
trying
any
to get.
romantic interest
No.
hanging from your left
Not a
and
thing.
right arm.
I'm lucky at 29 years old that I have a lot of, and we gotta move on here in a sec. But I have a lot of good girlfriends that I consider sisters in some cases, or friends of my friends' wives, whatever the case may be. Just hadn't landed the one that I don't want to play golf. But by the way, I figured this. Actually, I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna stay at.
No, what will you please?
Do you want me to say it?
No, probably not.
Okay.
Maybe you need to filter that through me during the break. All right, this hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Mach 1 Financial. Hey, if you've been paying attention to the market, then you know that the Fed has cut interest rates. So what's next? What's the kind of aftermath we can expect? Matt, Lee, and John break it down on this week's episode by looking at historical data from previous rate cuts. They also talk about where inflation is and where it isn't in our current economy. And right now, you can take a podcast survey to submit your comments and questions so they can be featured on upcoming episodes. Hey, to find the survey, head to the Market Moment on YouTube's channel or their YouTube channel, and you'll find the latest episodes and other Market Moment videos as well. You can also find the podcast episode at market-moment.com. Tune in to get your financial questions answered. Mach 1 Financial Group, LLC, is a registered investment advisor. They're located in Rogers, Arkansas. For full disclosures, visit mach-financial.com/disclosures.
Several opinionated takes on vodka cranberries and pumpkin spice. We will try and come back to that, but for now, we get our SEC update next.
Shop local, eat local, be local.
This is former Razorback Kenoy Kennedy, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hey, this is Arkansas pitcher Gabe Gacko, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
He struck him out swinging on a breaking ball.
Up to $3,000 off.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
The dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got coffee.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite, white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything sports betting. Every stat, every matchup, breakdown, and even live odds and spreads to bet on during the games. With the largest catalog of odds on everything from football, MLB playoffs, NHL, and NBA to political props. When the game is over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack, poke. Head to the website today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and HitThatLine.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, full deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561. Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That.
Sagely and Edwards Realtors.
If you knew all the Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything. Service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials. Tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com. Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSAuto.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Except we've got SEC buyers. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. Trusted pool experts and your source for backyard fun. Locations in Springdale, Fort Smith, and now in Greenland. Always online at burtonpools.com.
Sam Pittman had a chance to speak with the media yesterday at the SEC teleconference, also on his show last night, Sam Pittman Live. Can't remember which medium this was on, but he did talk about the significance of playing LSU.
I think anytime that you have a long history with anybody that, and you know, you spoke of Texas and certainly LSU, anytime you have a long history of playing each other, the proximity where we're recruiting against each other, I think that puts a different feel towards the game. And then you throw a trophy in there. Certainly, we've talked to our kids. And we had a bye week, too, so we had a little bit more time. But we talked to our kids about the significance of the history of this game and what it means to the state of Arkansas. So I think you're 100% correct.
Tommy, you brought this up before. This game in the 2000s, a lot of times decided who was going to the SEC championship game.
Mm-hmm.
2002, 2006, it was already set in stone. You lost that game. You're still going to Atlanta.
There weren't many years where the winner went and the loser didn't, but there were a lot of years that if one team beat the other, you knocked them out.
Mm-hmm. Correct. Has this been the most significant series for Arkansas since joining the SEC? My answer is yes, and I don't even think it's close.
I think so because it's produced some miraculous moments. You know, the miracle on Markham is still, you know, the guy sitting in the next room 10 feet from us authored that play, and it's been one of the most iconic moments in the history of the program. Maybe not the most, because you got a national championship in '64, and Ken Hatfield's punt return was a big part of that regular season. But but when you think about Arkansas's life in the Southeastern Conference, and maybe if that 32 years flashes before your eyes, the miracle in Markham's like play 1, play 2, play 3, somewhere in there. So yeah, it's a significant series because of how exciting it's been. It's been at the end of the year, and there's been something on the line a lot of times.
I just think about trophies. So you play in, 3 trophy games? Battle Line Rivalry, Southwest Classic, and this. And I don't know. I guess the Southwest Classic trophy is going by the wayside because you're not playing in Jerry World anymore unless they keep – I don't know what the deal is there. But that's the only one that I think about. I don't even think about the other 2 being trophy games. And maybe that's right, maybe that's wrong. But as I kind of started the show with this morning, this is LSU is my Texas. This is the team that I grew up hating and wanting to beat every single year and going to Little Rock every other year and watching some miraculous games like the one you mentioned, Miracle on Markham. Miracle on Markham 2 with Casey throwing it to London Crawford. 2010, Ryan had thrown it to Kobe a couple times and ended up touchdown. Those are the games that I remember more than any other game since I've been alive.
Does the Texas game need a trophy or a name, or is it just Texas?
I think it's.
My God, we're gonna have 4 trophy games. I don't know. Well, maybe I'm out of touch, but I think trophy games get carried away with
Tommy
that.
Kraft, not a trophy or participation trophy, Dad.
Well, how many can we have?
No, I'm
25% of your games right now have a trophy. Come on.
I'm not disagreeing with you. So, Christian, I think
you were mocking me.
I think Tommy's answer is no.
No, we don't need another trophy game. We've got enough trophy games.
We just need the sign. Help me on that church at the top of Dixon. Grant Hall's father.
Oh, you don't know?
Grant Hall's father used to pastor there.
It's your
Help
town.
me what that is.
I don't. Not my town.
I don't go to Dixon anymore. I'm getting old. I know this is hard to believe, but I'm getting old and I'm maturing. And I'll be there this weekend.
Not the old part.
I'll be there this weekend.
Is a
but
lie. You're telling me you didn't go to Dixon after the Tennessee game?
I told you what I did. I don't know. I didn't drink that night.
Believe it or not, I don't really pay attention to everything you say.
I didn't drink that night. I did the Chuck Barrett approach. I just took it in. And I didn't wake up the next morning and forget or not know anything. It actually was probably one of the most intelligent things I've actually taken in that he said. It's like, wow, this is what it's like when you don't get hammered after a game. You can actually feel and remember everything.
Speaking of trophy games, Robert in Fort Smith says he thinks both teams should get trophies. So there you go.
Participation trophy dad is the worst kind of dad and human being on the planet. Speaking of the SEC update, LSU Arkansas's SEC report has been released. Arkansas just has 2 guys listed. Jalen Braxton's out. Kind of thought that was going to be the case based on Pittman's comments earlier this week. Rodney Hill listed as doubtful. I don't expect him to play. I think you're fine at the running back position. Only 2 guys on there. Talen's not on there. Luke Hazen on there. Ty Washington's not on there. Patrick Kuda sitting on there. I mean, you're gonna have pretty much a full roster 2 nights from now, which is awesome. And I didn't
full roster and 100%. Again, I go back to Green, and is he going to be as mobile as we've seen all year? If he is, I think you got a really good chance to be competitive in there in the fourth quarter. If he has to be a pocket passer, because yes, he's available, yes, he starts the game, but he's not as mobile, then that's problematic. So it's one thing to be available. It's one thing to start. It's another thing to be 100%, or at least be as close to 100% as you can at this point in the year. He has got to be able to get out of the pocket and do things with his legs.
I think so. The Tennessee game, you finished with 19 points, but Taylor, I don't have the stats in front of me. He made some throws to Andrew Armstrong that Tom Murphy was talking about. The offense moved the football. They just didn't convert on a couple fourth downs. You had a missed field goal. And
how many of those throws does he make on the run? Rolling out of the pocket.
You're exactly right.
I'm just saying if that.
And his pocket completion percentage, Tommy, is a lot worse than outside the pocket,
so
to your point.
I'm just saying if he's got to be back there and drop back like a statue, we're in trouble. Big trouble. 2
more things real quick. Apparently for the Missouri-Auburn game this weekend, they're going to have $2.99 beers on the North Concourse from 9:30 to 10:30. U of A should listen up and put a bulletin out tomorrow in a press release that they're doing something similar to that prior to the LSU game.
Now, who's having them?
Missouri is doing that prior to the Auburn game tomorrow. So, or Saturday, I should say. Take advantage, U of A.
$3 beers.
$3 beers for an hour.
What a bargain.
For a stadium, that's a pretty good deal.
You're right.
Last thing, all eyes and ears are going to be on what's going on in Fayetteville, Donald W. this weekend. Better game outside of that. Austin, Texas with Georgia and Alabama. Sorry, Georgia and Texas, or Alabama and Tennessee and Knoxville. What's the better game between those two?
Georgia, Texas.
You think Georgia, Texas? Okay.
What do you think? Game.
I just think, Tennessee, Alabama, they're big rivalries, and it's big to them, and it's getting bigger with everybody else, but neither of them have looked like a national title contender.
I think there's truth to that, Big C.
The most significant game is Texas, Georgia, because if Texas loses, obviously that opens up a whole other list of possibilities as far as Atlanta, title game, playoff speculation in this league. So Georgia's got a big job to do, and that's beat Texas.
Let me ask you this, and I want our audience's opinion, 877-377-6963. Do you want Texas to be undefeated when they come on November the 16th, or do you want them to lose this weekend?
No.
I want you to think about this. I know your initial jump is, no, I want them to lose this weekend, but I want you to think about that, the possibility of giving them their first loss of the season.
Okay. I mean, it's an interesting point. All right, that's your SEC update. Brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. The perfect hot tub is waiting on you. It is hot tub weather. I mean, it's crisp and cool in the morning. Imagine flipping that cover back and watching that steam come off the hot tub. We've all done that before. You see that steam rising on a cool morning. They've got that. They can make that happen in your backyard. They've got over 100 hot tubs in stock, ready to deliver right now at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale, Greenland, and in Fort Smith. Tubs start at $49.99. Payments as low as $58 a month. And you can see a full display of all the hot spring spas online at burtonpools.com. That's Burton Pools and Spas, 3 locations now. Springdale, Greenland, and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com.
Scott texting in saying, that's not even a tough question. I want them to be number 1 when they come in to Fayetteville. He clearly thinks that it's that.
That'll be bigger than the Tennessee game. By far.
I went back and forth with Clay on this. By the way, Mike and Van Buren, I think, brought us by some barbecue
It is
rub.
at 11.
Thank you, Mike and Van Buren.
Mike and Van Buren just brought, the camera's off right now, but Mike and Van Buren just brought this by for us.
Thank you, Mike. Christian, sorry, finish your thought.
I mean, if they're number 1 coming in, you would think that would be a bigger atmosphere, but it's 11 a.m., so I don't know how it could be.
And that's a good point.
I just don't know.
Listen, I have not been to a better 11 a.m. atmosphere than what I saw in Athens, Georgia. Technically, it was 12 o'clock Eastern time. I have not seen a better college football atmosphere than I saw at Sanford Stadium that early. If Arkansas continues to win, and I think they're going to on Saturday night, I think they're going to play terrible against Mississippi State, but squeak it out, and I think they'll beat Ole Miss at home. Giddy up. Get here early if you're going to that game.
You're not going to have to worry about getting the crowd unless Arkansas loses to LSU, Ole Miss, or LSU, Mississippi State, and Ole Miss. Unless they lose, the crowd's going to be just fine for the Texas game. You won't have to worry about, selling beers for $3 to get people there.
What kind of seasoning did Mike drop off?
Mike just brought by some Farmer Brothers barbecue rub special. Mike works for Farmer Brothers, so very nice.
Whose is that?
Very nice.
Does that
item.
go to you? Do we split it? Do we put it in cups?
You don't even know
take it
how to use it.
I'm gonna be honest. My steaks are
Put it in cups. No, you don't do that. It dry out.
they're dry.
You can have it, but use it properly.
I'll screw it up.
Use
You
it
or
properly.
Christian need to use
I mean,
it.
you cooked a pork butt in the air fryer, for God's sakes.
I did get the grill go. Cassie is not completely set up yet, but she's at least outside waiting to be fixed and get the propane and stuff like that.
Now I'm going to just hook up natural gas right to it?
I feel like you're walking me in a trap here.
No, I mean, I've got all my grills at home hooked into the natural
I feel
gas
like that you're
line.
lying to me and being sarcastic here.
No. That way you never have to worry about the propane bottle going empty. You never have to
I
go and
feel like
exchange it.
this is that you're just setting me up to look like a moron. I know I do that more often than not.
You have natural gas in your home? Yes, because you had your idiot buddies that thought you had a gas leak the other day. You need to have your grill hooked up to your gas line.
How much does that cost to?
Oh, just pennies. Maybe 200.
That's not pennies. Geez.
Something like that. I don't know, but it's worth it because you never have to run down to your cooking cheeseburgers and your mid burger and because I know you're not going to check the level on the fuel and then you're going to run out mid cook.
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or not right now.
What?
Or being
How
facetious.
else are you going to fuel the grill?
Propane.
Okay, what happens when you run out?
You go to the gas station and get.
What
it.
if you're in the middle of cooking? Are you going to keep a spare?
I probably doubt it. That costs more money. No.
Yeah. That's why you hook it up to the natural gas line. You never have to worry about it again.
I got to figure out where that is.
Yeah.
In my house.
Well, there
If you're
should be
being
one
sarcastic.
outside your house as well.
The one that was apparently leaking the other day. My friends thought.
That apparently wasn't.
And then the AOG comes out. And I don't know what
You're
they're.
a moron.
I don't
Wait
know
till
what
your
they're-
next bill and they charged you $200 to come out and do that.
I looked at it. They didn't charge me anything.
Not yet.
That's not funny.
I'll make a phone call.
Don't
Hey, we're
do
brought to you by Gaston's White River Resort. Kick back and relax. In fact, I got to call Gaston's back. They called me during one of our segments here this morning trying to get our buddy Joey Clampett down to Clampett's Country Kitchen hooked up. He wanted to go to Gaston's and spend some time fishing because he understands the enjoyment, the relaxation. Hey, I know we're talking to a lot of guys that have stressful jobs, own companies, have to deal with headaches. You need a place you can get away, relax, and unwind, and Gaston's can do that for you. They got 80 private cabins and lodges, so kind of got your own setup, kind of do your own thing there. If you don't want to cook, that's fine. They got a restaurant that does breakfast, lunch, and dinner that overlooks the White River. If you like to cook, and that's part of how you get away, they can do that as well. And, of course, the fishing's the star of the show. Their expert guides will take you to the White River in one of their premium boats that they have. They use topwater boats. And you can just have a great day enjoying the trout fishing and enjoying just nature in the Ozarks. 870-431-5202 is their number. 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time every time.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
This is Drew Morgan, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is former Arkansas Razorback and current OKC Thunder guard Isaiah Joe, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Deer hunting in the comfort of an enclosed 6x6 Lazy Man fiberglass box blind. It's affordable at Jelco Outdoors. Lazy Man Fat Girl Blinds, built here in Fort Smith with your choice of 6-foot or 10-foot tower blind platforms, starting at $22.99.99. Box blinds are great for taking the kids, with plenty of room and out of the weather. Check out the deer blinds at Jelco Outdoors.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sacalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got coffee.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything sports betting. Every stat, every matchup, breakdown, and even live odds and spreads to bet on during the games. With the largest catalog of odds on everything from football, MLB playoffs, NHL, and NBA to political props. When the game is over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack, poke. Head to the website today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Colin Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike
Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Thanks for watching.
We can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Finally, football season. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria is your number one place to watch Arkansas and Monday Night Football. During Monday Night Football, $5 refillable beer cups for only $2 refills. Prizes for each score and at the end of every single quarter.
Can you believe that they've had the same great pizza since 1996?
That's nearly 30 years. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. You'll get the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I think I side with Ty as much as anybody. I've listened to this program for years. First time I've called in.
Green's going to throw on second down. Got some time now. It breaks down, rolls to his right, still looking. Now he's going to run it. Inside the 35, inside the 30, far sideline of the 20. Cuts back. 15, coming to the near side to the 5. Touchdown, Arkansas!
You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
All right, back here on the Morning Rush. Tommy, you mentioned earlier in the program, you and Dylan are going this weekend. Does Dylan have a sign picked out?
No.
Is he going to make one? What happened? I feel like that used to be a thing for kids back in the day consistently. Things just go by the wayside, I feel like.
That means dad or mom have to go to the store, get a poster.
Okay.
Got to have the markers. Got to come up with something creative.
You're a good parent.
Got to make sure we spell it right so we don't look like fools on national TV. And then you got to haul it to the stadium, keep up. Because you think my kid's going to carry that around and be responsible for it all day long? Nope.
He's a teenager now, isn't he?
Exactly. Exactly, my man.
I guess I forget how.
He's more worried about, are we going to get to go to CJ's Burgers before the game? That's his main question.
Smart man.
It is not about the sign. It's, Dad, are we going to get to go to CJ's? Can we leave early enough to go get get some of that fry sauce. That's
smart man.
That's all he wants right now. Hey, will be a nice weekend for some fishing. And the Rebel Crick Hopper is one of them great things to have along right now. Nothing catches bass and bluegill in a pond like a Rebel Crick Hopper. You can twitch it, pop it, walk it, swim it. It's the ultralight fishing lure that looks and acts like a real grasshopper. The Crick Hopper works great in tandem with light spinning rod and reels. 4 or 6 pound line, I bet, is what Bruce would tell you to put on there and have some fun. Find the Rebel Crick Hopper at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores everywhere. It's the Rebel Crick Hopper.
Ryan is up first in Hot Springs. Ryan, welcome into the Morning Rush. How's your morning going?
Hey, good morning. So first I want to say this, and I got something I'm gonna put out there and see what y'all's thoughts are. I'll say this: if Arkansas did beat Texas while they were undefeated, well, I know that sure would chap O'Brien and Ozark's hind end if that were the case.
Coincidentally, he's on hold right now.
And we would be paying a hefty fine because that would be a worthy field storming if that happened.
So
it'd be what, $500,000 then?
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing.
And you
too.
got to give that money to Texas, Ryan.
Don't rush the field.
Don't. That means you got to give the money to Texas. Ooh.
So I have one other thing I want to say too.
Okay.
So have y'all looked at Texas's schedule? Who they play after Georgia?
It's a cakewalk.
You say that, but I bet Alabama said the same thing after coming off an emotional win over Georgia.
Oh, you think because of Vanderbilt being right there?
Yes, sir. And I'm not predicting a win. I'm not doing that. But I'm just saying now that game sets up very similar to what Alabama went through. And I will say this: that little Vandy quarterback is a little wild card.
Well, to your point, you played OU, which is an emotional game, but didn't turn out to be a tight game. Georgia, we'll see how this one plays out. Then Vanderbilt, then you get a bye. So, I mean, there's some validity to what you're saying, but I don't think anyone's sleeping on Vandy at this point.
Well, all I'm saying is they come off a very physical game with Georgia, and the way Vandy runs the ball, I'm just saying that could be a scary game for Texas. I mean, I'm not predicting a win for Vandy. But anyway, that's my thoughts. I hope y'all have a great day and go Hogs.
Thanks, Ryan. I'm sure Brian in Ozark would like to respond to that. Brian, what are your thoughts on what Ryan just had to say?
About the possibility of Vandy beating Texas?
Yep.
Man, I really don't know. What I'm looking at is, I don't know. You tried that and what they had, 27 yards on 30 carries.
Yeah, but I think you and I both know that Vanderbilt's offense is way better than Oklahoma's. Oklahoma's is the worst offense in Power 5. I mean, they are dreadful. Their top 5 wide receivers were out for that game, by the way, too.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think Vandy will give them a good first half. I believe after that, I mean, the depth that Texas has, 8 extremely great receivers, and even, they lose 2 of their Texas lost 2 of their top 5 running backs, and it hasn't mattered at all. They lost their, starters all the way around, and it hasn't mattered because of the depth they have. So do I think Vanderbilt? I think Vanderbilt will give them a game.
That's more than what you said a couple weeks ago.
Oh. I would give anything for Vandy to beat Texas.
We have all changed our mind about Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
I made fun of them during the offseason, during the season. Clark Lee's done a really good job in Nashville. They're 4-2 right now. They just beat Kentucky.
Well, taking the kid to the game, maybe we swing by before we leave Fort Smith and get to Andy's Frozen Custards. They're on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. That'd be a great, cool, satisfying sweet before you hit the road for a big game. They have a location, as I just mentioned, in Fort Smith. There are 2 in Conway. They're on East Oak and also on Dave Ward Drive. Also in North Little Rock on JFK. Stop in for something great before or after the game. Even take home a pick 6, which you can mix and match 6 of your favorite flavors for a perfect game time treat. Andy's Frozen Custards. Again, Fort Smith, Conway, and North Little Rock at Andy's Frozen Custards. Walk up or drive through. They're ready to serve you.
Josh points out something important on the text line. Who has Texas played thus far this season? Michigan's not near as good as they were last year. It's because they lost double-digit guys to the draft. Oklahoma doesn't have an offense. They're playing someone this weekend. And if they win, they're the undisputed #1 team in college football. You got to give them that. I personally wouldn't mind them coming into Fayetteville, Arkansas undefeated, because that would be that much sweeter if you ended up winning that football game.
To leave defeated.
Yes, that's the most important thing.
That's the most important thing. If you're looking for the right financing option to remodel your current home or build a new one, it's easier than ever right now at Farm Credit of Western Arkansas, 25 locations across the state. Let their experts guide you from start to finish, or you can log on to myaglender.com to see all the financing options they offer. That's myaglender.com. Farm Credit of Western Arkansas, making dreams come true for more than 100 years.
Appreciate everyone joining us today. If you missed any of the conversation, you can find it in the Bud Light Morning Rush podcast, including what Cam Ball had to say on Sam Pittman Live last night.
I just like to constantly moisturize my meat.
Does he have sanitizer in his locker room today, Tommy? Do his
I
teammates
think he's
do
got
that?
bottles and bottles.
Bottles and bottles, yeah. That will
But
mess
I know
with him,
this.
doesn't it?
What does Gary Narcadelphia think about LSU?
Who gives a damn about LSU?
At Wheels RV in Springdale, Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV